What we do here is go back.
What the? Dude, seriously, how the hell did people play this game? I mean, I just half broke my finger, just, you know. The hell was the point of this?
Gogo Crazy Bones.
Ah, yes, the screeches of pain trying to have fun. I guess the marketing guy that came up with flicking these for the commercial never actually tried it, huh? Of course, these things I'm talking about are none other than Gogo's Crazy Bones. And yes, they were, like many others, an extremely nostalgic part of my childhood. These little guys were responsible for my bankruptcy. I mean, responsible for my happiness as a child. I remember some of the first YouTube videos I watched were about Pokemon going to war with Bakugan. I would replicate those videos and I would hoard way too many Gogos, Bakugan, and Godzilla figures to culminate in the ultimate collection of war crimes within my bedroom. It gets a bit foggy after that due to the psychiatrist prescribing me 500 gallons of Xanax. I'm not crazy. I'm playing the crazy. Anyways, Gogo's Crazy Bones. Play the craze, as they said back in the 90s. It's a shame like many crazes it died. Bye. Well, sorta died. The Spain-based company Magic Box International were the producers and makers of these bad boys, which no one was honestly expecting. These folks decided to kick off the craze with the first line of Crazy Bones in 1996. The fad went well into the early 2000s with several themes including sports, things, mutants, buddies, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z? Wait, what? Oh, that sounds awesome. Let's see. Wow, shit, I was gonna make a joke about how bad these look, but they're actually kind of badass. Except Krillin. Jesus. What did they do to you, buddy?
I've prepared my whole life for this. It's thriller time!
There were several more obscure spin-offs and crossovers, such as a line of McDonald's toys, for God's sake. However, despite owning many of some of those original Crazy Bones, they are not the ones I'm most nostalgic of. My bread and butter was after the fad of the 90s ended, and the fad of the 2010s began.
Enter the world of Gogo's Crazy Bones.
The year is now 2010. Smosh is in full swing.
Anthony, stop changing my interest to gay porn!
BP took a dump in the Gulf of Mexico, and President Obunga is getting ready to Gangnam Style on Osama's grave. Despite all of this, Magic Box International decided that it was time to reboot their 90s success. Thus, Gogo's Crazy Bones Series 1 was released to the masses. However, since the toy was European, it didn't reach the US of A again until Irwin Toys and, try and listen to me on this one, Jonic Distribution North America imported them to the land of the free in 2010, with an original release year of 2007. To say that this generation of Gogos had an impact would be an understatement.
For kids aged 6 and up, they're teeny tiny critters that you just love. And they're all the rage in the playground right now.
I'm here to talk to you about what all the kids are raging about right now, and they're Gogos.
Hey, I know. What is this? What is this weird thing that you're showing us right now? These Gogo Crazy Bones bag.
Hey, stop punching me! Ow!
People around the world, kids and adults alike, were attracted to these little goblins. As a kid, I looked to Gogos being the first successful attempt at the loot box model pioneered by video games like TF2 or FIFA. But a collectible like Gogos intentionally added tiered rarity. Magic Box just straight up labeled specific painted Gogos as wanteds and most wanteds. And I gotta tell you, the feeling of pulling one of them is a euphoria I cannot put into words. That's why I'm gonna attempt to open some stuff, so I don't have to tell you. Oh, listen to that. When's the last time you heard that noise and this is what you were looking at? I mean, really. This is just amazing. But alright, it's been a very long time. Oh, dude. Dude, I think I just nutted a little bit. Big Senator Armstrong here. Oh my god, look at this. The ugliest one. Fucking robot. On to the next one. This is gonna be a supercut. Oh shit. Fucking yellow Kirby or, you know, whatever the fuck this thing is supposed to be. And, oh, this dude's fucking awesome.
I love this guy. You are staring into my soul. Just a good old guy. Looks like he's ready to sock you in the fucking face. Machoke from the Pokemon franchise over here. This fucking angry bastard. Fucking Skull Man over here. Machoke's master, it looks like. Grim fucking Reaper. Headphone lady. That's, I'm way too fucking happy to be here right now. I know this one's name is Molly. You always look like the Domo character from 7-Eleven to me. Green Fist. I don't think I've ever gotten this before. Fucking Pink Mummy. The Fire Guy. Awashima Legend, one of my favorites. Way too fucking happy again. The biggest of boys. I don't have this color either. Bucktooth Man.
What the dog doing?
Kung Fu Panda over here. Literally a fucking dupe. Oh my god, I literally told Wavetro. I hate this one the absolute most.
If I was any more lucky, I suppose I'd get laid.
No.
Without having a distinct purpose or theming, these guys were genuinely unique. Except when they weren't and were just Sackboy from Little Big Planet.
Hey, wait a minute. Doesn't that look like the character from, was it Sackboy?
Series 1 success led to an explosion of several more lines in the 2010s. We had Series 2 Evolution, which were just straight up reskins of Series 1 without any of the wanteds. Series 3 introduced the concept of tall and lanky, which made that demographic of people happier, I guess. Series 4 decided that Go-Go's would be spicier if a rock, paper, scissors card game was added to it. The distinct yet simple designs, and the huge variety of them, allowed any kid to pick up a Go-Go and put themselves in its shoes, leading to one of the most vibrant underground content creation scenes on the planet.
Hey, Virgil. Give me...
You are most wanted, and you.
If you want it, then you'll have to take it. But you already knew that. It's past your bedtime.
I am the storm that is approaching.
Now I'm a little motivated.
YouTube back from about 2010 to 2013 was where I practically lived during my childhood day-to-day. You could fill a buffet hall with how many different kinds of Go-Go's videos there were. I started with my old channel, the Domination, and partook in the Pokemon Wi-Fi battle community while simultaneously making Go-Go's videos. Those videos have sadly been lost to time, but their inspirations still remain on this site if you look hard enough. I also dug up an old Go-Go's American Idol video I was obsessed with as a kid. I believe it was this one.
Hello and welcome to the finale of Gogo's Idol Series 1.
With that being said, I've gathered interviews from both Super Eggy 5 and Cooler Now 123, as well as some modern YouTube creators including Andrew Day, Sansb, I Like Gogo's Crazy Bones, Domination Studios, and Lockdown to give proper context for the YouTube content creation underground. But let's get to the big boys. The biggest of boys I can recall, that I specifically watched, were Super Eggy 5 and Cooler Now 123. How I discovered those two to this day is honestly a mystery to me. I was probably looking up the Season 3 finale of Gogo's Idol, to be honest with you. Probably was going to be made by Cooler Now 123.
And now for your feature presentation. Cooler Now 123 presents Gogo's Idol Season 2.
Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Up. Whoop, 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 Gangnam Style.
Super Eggy 5 created the hit Go-Go's community series, Mosh Madness, back in the day. Utilizing more than just Go-Go's, my man created silly plots involving Mosh and Angaroo, sometimes some trash packs, some of those weird Bokey Boy things that you could get in a gumball machine, old Crazy Bones, Mega Trip, you name it. And if you believe this, he founded the literal fandom wiki for Crazy Bones, the Crazy Bonespedia to be specific. I'll link it in the description. Much of the research I had to do just to get some context for certain things was using that website, so thank you for having that available for me. I must say, Super Eggy, thank you for being a big part of the community and making me laugh all those years. But with that being said, I now present you the interview with Super Eggy 5. He chose to do a text interview, so I will just deliver it to you guys and put the questions up on screen. My username back in the day was Super Eggy 5. I created a variety of videos related to Gogo's Crazy Bones, including skits, collection showcases, and more. My main content on YouTube was Mosh Madness, a comedy series featuring several Gogo's figures, as well as other collectible toys, living their lives and dealing with issues that come their way. My first video was a basic and simple one that showcased my then current Gogos collection. I was about 12 at the time and I had absolutely no knowledge about video creating, so I had my dad help me with it. It's pretty weird looking back and comparing my old videos from 2010 to the later ones. I was very entertained and fascinated by the shorts and skits created by other young content creators at the time, such as Crazy Bones Man and a ton of others that I seem to have forgotten the name of. I wanted to make content just like them, but tried to make a series that would receive constant and continuous new episodes on a regular basis, as many of the Gogos channels that I liked watching were not at all active on the site. The story isn't too complicated, but I randomly found them at Target one day in late 2009 with absolutely no knowledge about what they were. I liked the designs of the characters seen on the packaging, so I picked up a pack and considered whether I wanted them or not. I happened to find a figure on the ground, Izumi from Series 1, and put 2 and 2 together, realizing that this is what a Gogo looks like. I quickly decided to buy the pack I had my hand on and have been hooked ever since. Though I am not at all involved in the Gogos YouTube community anymore, although I still check on it from time to time, I had made a somewhat decent name for myself while I was a part of it during the early 2010s. Most of the YouTubers at the time knew each other pretty well and watched each other's content pretty regularly, even collaborating with one another on occasion. Thank you for the opportunity, my man. Now let's see Random Sounds Collection 2 get off the unlisted list. And now, the man of the hour with the one and only trio, Angaru, Fist, and Cody. Cooler Now 123. I started out as a Cooler Now 123 fan, but somehow, after adding him on Skype, we managed to keep in touch through the years and have become great friends. He's now named wavetro, and he's been through hell and back as a YouTuber, but we've only become closer as friends throughout time. As a matter of fact, I actually visited him, and we went to New York City together and hung out for a day. Why don't you check it out? Cooler Now's videos were so fun as a kid. He basically did stop motion with the occasional mix of live action. Most of the live action came from some of his bigger projects, especially classics like Lost in London or Flight 698. These were especially amazing as a kid because just seeing Gogos appear in places around the world. Regardless, Cooler Now and his sister Himiko would have such a good time making these, and it was the most wholesome thing. In seeing him, I also got to see the Cooler Now set, which was an honor, and I thank you again for letting me see that in person.
That's got some weight to it. What the
Yeah, it's pretty heavy, huh?
Is this even Lego? What the hell is this?
It's Playmobil, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mixed and matched a bit.
There they are. Oh my god.
Yep.
Amazing. Look at them. I have to touch them all just because, you know, it means I can leave my mark.
And actually, just like Super Eggy, I don't think I have to thank him on a video because I have him right here. This is gonna be a doozy, fellas. Here is Cooler Now 123, also known as wavetro. Hello, Mr. Wavetro, aka Cooler Now 123. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
We're doing the interview for the video, so I'm just gonna go right into it.
Alright, well, I'm wavetro on YouTube. Well, I was a YouTuber, but during the Gogos era, I went by Cooler Now 123, and I made Gogo's Crazy Bones stop motions, usually with Series 1 Gogo's Crazy Bones and maybe a couple Lego toys. Alright, my first video was March 2010, yeah. And it was actually, a lot of people think it was Accidental Demolition. That was the first one, which is like, it's this sort of like vague story of, oh, this one Gogo is driving a car and he doesn't know how to stop it, so he just plows through a bunch of people. But I already made something similar called Vehicle Test. That was pretty much the same story. I don't know why I just made the same story twice. I had like this Playmobil car that I kept using, which people know as the yellow sub. Put that on Screen Editor. Basically, you know, I was just a bored kid. I was just at home. Like a month or two beforehand, I just saw a commercial for like Gogo's Crazy Bones, the Irwin Toys one, which is the one that was like 3D. Once I got those, and I like traded some, even got my Angiru one at some point, because that was the one I wanted the most. And then once I got that, I was like, oh shit, let me watch some TV. And my sisters were watching iCarly, and there was like this part where Spencer, the older brother, was making a stop motion with like a burrito and like some set. And it was like, oh, that looks fucking easy. I could do that. And then I literally did it like with Movie Maker, and I was like, oh, where do I put this now? And then I was like on their website, and they had this thing where you could upload videos to their website. But what actually happened is that you uploaded the videos to their website, and then some intern re-uploads it to YouTube, and then puts the YouTube link back on a curated like website player, which is why the first like 10 or 13 Cooler Now 123 videos are on a channel called Gogo Crazy 2. Yeah, that was my first video, and my first foray into videos is making like these very, very basic ones where it was just, I didn't do any like pauses yet. It was just all like non-stop, like a Like you go into like a black and white movie and you turn the crank and it's like nonstop action. There's no like pausing to talk or whatever. It was very basic, but that was my start. Well, it was because I was a bored kid. That's basically it. Up until that point, actually, I had already been making like videos in a way, just not for the internet. My friend came over and we were hanging out like normal, just being like normal, stupid third graders. He's like, "Hey, let's make a movie." I was like, "What do you mean? How do you just do that?" He just like picked up like my mom's point and shoot camera and just filmed it. I was like, "Oh, you could just do that?" And that was basically like the proto plush video. Like, you know how kids make plush videos? I had no idea. It was basically that, and it's like, whoa, that's a thing you could do. Except I didn't have YouTube. I would just burn it on blank DVDs and show it to my family, and then they would get mad because I keep making too many. Right as I was getting tired with that, Gogos came in. And funny enough, I actually didn't see a whole lot of the series 2, 3, or 4. Like a big thing, I guess I could talk about instead, was that for me, I really just collected like maybe 20 or 30 Gogos in series 1, and then that was it. I was like satisfied. I just used those Gogos forever. People kept asking me, "Oh, did you get any like series 2 or 3 or 4?" And it's like, no, I don't really care to collect any of those. I mean, when I did the Lost in London video, I got a series 5 one that never came out in the US just because I needed to get that. I was literally in the UK as a kid. There was also a part where like people saying, "Oh, did you hear about Myro K?" I think Myro K was like the Go-Go's last hurrah, both the red and yellow ones. Like, what is this? I don't want to go out of my way to the Target like half an hour away just to get like a single red Go-Go. It's like, why is it so rare? I just like Mayangiru, Fist, and Cody, you know, the ones I got attached to. And I think on top of the people who like hoarding a bunch of Go-Go's, what was so great about them is that the designs were just, not only was there such a huge variety of them, but if you found one you liked, it really clicked with you. That's how it was for me. Like, I valued my individual Go-Go's, despite the fact that I loved reading every single comment and replying to most of them, to the point of it, like, I mean, at the time, it would have been totally normal to do. It's just the fact that I kept going, but kept making videos for that. That's the sad part. But whatever the case, at the time, YouTube had a private messaging system. That's how I like communicated with a bunch of different people. Nathan included. I forgot what his old username was, but basically a lot of the YouTuber friends I have now, including you and Nathan, some of the Cooler Now 123 fans were just bold enough to go, "Can I add you on Skype?" And I said, "All right, sure." And then you'd add me on Skype, and then we talk, and then 12 years later, we're still here somehow, you know. So that's how I met like you and kind of Drake, who at the time went by the name Kek, God of Kek or something. I bet he cringed hearing his own username again. But I think another bad habit, well, I say bad habit and like it's easily fixable, but a thing I did with my creative process was that it was very like one-man showy. Like I had a very distinct like vision or idea that like I did not trust. Like if I were to give a role to someone else, it'd be like, no, they're not going to get it perfect, as opposed to, you know, me doing it myself. So there wasn't a whole lot of collabs. I don't think I even collaborated with other Gogo's creators that much. I just talked with them a bunch, you know, everyone just kind of did their own thing. And then, yeah, there wasn't really many collabs. It was just like, I don't know, it was just fun seeing like the same 30 or so regular people just like saying, hey, how you doing? It was, you know, like living in like a small, like village in America or a town or something, and you're just like running a corner store. That's what it kind of felt like. You know, you see like the same people saying, "How are you doing, man? Love your videos." It was a really, really, really like just great time. Whenever I made a video, I was in the moment making it and was occupied with it, that oftentimes I forget that I made the video. So I think the best part is surprising myself and going back and watching those old Cooler Now 123 videos and remembering again. I guess my favorite one, it's a really basic answer, but I gotta go with 4:15 to Nowhere. I know I got really sad that I didn't make it to an hour like I planned. Like I spent like $130 on Lego sets to make like this big epic like Cooler Now 123 movie, and I only got it as much as like the length of a standard YouTube video today, like 17 minutes. But 17 minutes of stop motion was like unreal. It's still just nice to remember, like, oh yeah, I remember I planned all this and I did all that, and it was great. And also, you know, the vacation videos were like, oh yeah, I remember I went on the London Eye or literal Stonehenge, and they decided to drag in.
This man is a hell of a story himself between his days as Cooler Now 123, Robot_, and wavetro. Please show him some love. He deserves all of it. So we've talked about the titans of the past, and if I've disregarded anybody, please drop a comment, and maybe I could do a follow-up just to kind of connect this all together. Now, regarding today, you'd think, what the hell, today? These guys have been dead since 2017. Or at least out of production. How is there more? Well, my friends, there is a varietized landscape of people who have come together as a community and continue to make content both stop motion and otherwise. I have collected several YouTubers from the modern day scene of different varieties of content, similar, but all related to Gogos. I just want to say before we get into all these interviews, thank you to both the interviewees and the community for keeping these guys alive. With that said, I have collected a handful of YouTubers for you today. All of these guys have their own sense of variety, and they've all provided me with interviews today. Without further ado, let's get into the first one. Sansb64 is another YouTuber that has definitely taken inspiration from Cooler Now. He has made a handful of stop motions as well as memes, and even continued some of the 3D animation aspects involving Cody, Fist, and Angiru. And yes, that's gonna bother wavetro. In recent times, Sansb has been mostly doing memes, I'll be honest, and I respect it, and a lot of them have been involving the idiots.exe characters, which has been the continuation of Cooler Now's series, or was planned to be. The assets were provided for free due to, obviously, Magic Box owning the models and faces of these characters, which is completely understandable. So, without further ado, take it away, my good man, Sansb64.
My channel is Sansb64, and I make funny 3D animations starring Angiru, Fist, and Cody, with the occasional stop motion here and there. My first video was made September 24th, 2016, and it was a crappy video of me playing Roblox on my mom's computer, recorded on my old Android tablet in portrait mode. I've always had a passion for filmmaking and storytelling. When I was little, I used to make tons of little homemade movies on my mom's old phone. I used to record all kinds of stuff, whether they'd be Gogo stop motions, or my brother playing Skylanders, or me at the park. I just used to record everything. It was quite fun. I discovered Gogos because it was like 2009, and my mom wanted to buy my older brother something to collect or something. So she went down to the store, and they found this Mega Metropolis magazine that came with a Gogo, and my brother really liked it. So logically I wanted one, and my mom then bought me one. My brother and I found out there was like a bunch of other different types of Gogos and stuff, and we bought more of them, and that's really when our Gogo collecting obsession started. So in 2012, 2013, I used to watch a lot of Gogos videos, usually unboxings and stop motion. I used to watch a lot of Cooler Now 123 videos, who now goes by wavetro. Fast forward to 2020, and I made my current channel. I don't remember exactly how, but I found Domination Studios channel, and I saw all of his stop motions, and it took me back. I still collected Gogos and stuff, but I hadn't seen stop motions in a really long time. I had a lot of fun watching his videos, and I thought, I used to make plenty of stop motions back in the day, maybe I should make some new ones and post them on my new channel. And that's what I did. The videos did pretty well, and I met plenty of people, like I like Gogo Crazy Bones. I then started making short 3D animations with the models that wavetro released, and that's pretty much it. So me and my brother used to play with Gogos a lot, but no one else we knew had ever heard of Gogos. One day, right after school finished, a friend of mine brought Gogos. My brother and I were amazed, since we were the only ones who knew about them. Every day after school for the next few weeks, everyone would bring Gogos to the playground. We would trade, we would show off our Gogos, we would play. Those were some of the best weeks of my life.
Next up is Andrew L. Day. My man has been making Gogos videos for about a year now. He's been doing a good hybrid of stop motion / live action, kind of making them mix together, and I gotta say it's pretty high quality. In his most recent big project, he even had wavetro and my buddy Kinda Drake do voice acting for one of his big projects recently, and it's solid. Anyway, Andrew L. Day, everybody.
My name is Andrew L. Day on YouTube, and my content is basically a lazy slap together of stop motion and video footage of my characters, Angiru, Awashima, and Welu, basically doing whatever they want. Awashima being the voice of reason, Angiru being the chaotic energy of the group, often being the cause of the issues at hand. And Welu is just Awashima's timid assistant in most of his business practices. That had to have been back when I first got my phone when I was like 13 years old or something, and most of the videos never even made it to YouTube, and the ones that did will never see the light of day again because they were absolute cringe. Back when I was younger, I used to watch YouTube all the time. Cooler Now 123 and Robert Benfer were my main inspirations to start YouTube. Back when I was younger, during my elementary school summer program, they received a ton of the of Go-Go's for free, like free little sample packets. They were given out to kids for good behavior. That basically started the whole craze in our school. It only helped the fact that my mom worked for the school and she was friends with the main people who gave out the packets, so oftentimes when they had excess, she'd get them and give them to us. That was our gateway drug into the addiction. So something about me that I don't really like to talk about a lot is I'm an epileptic. I have had epilepsy and seizures for as long as I can remember. That often meant that I would have to spend like about a week or so, like once every other year, staying overnight in hospital so that they could like study my brain through like overnight EEGs and stuff like that. And I always hated this stuff. I hated the doctor in general, but my epilepsy was always something I hated more than anything. And I remember that on the first night I had to go into one of these, one of the times I had to do it was the night that the first episode of Idiots.exe got released. And I remember that I would rewatch the episode over and over while I was there, and it made the stay overnight, it made the stay actually bearable, and it made me feel really happy. That's one of the big stories that comes to mind whenever I think of any memories I've had. Again, I can't thank you enough, man, for including me in this. It makes me feel it really warmed up my heart when you asked me this.
Of course, man. It's the least I can do for someone keeping the community alive. Next on the list is I like Gogo's Crazy Bones. I quite heavily respect how active he is in the community. One of our other interviewees, Lockdown, and him just had a trade, actually, which created a video through Lockdown. But anyways, without further ado, here is I like Gogo's Crazy Bones interview.
Hello, it's me. I like Gogo's Crazy Bone. I make some videos on YouTube. I make some battle videos, not so much these days, but I used to make quite a lot, and then I started making battle series. In battle series, it's basically a sort of like episode show sort of series where you can participate and help a Gogo of your choice to try to be in the last team of the tournament. I also make some stop motion videos, some unboxing videos, and some memes. When I started YouTube, the first video I did was a stop motion video of this little episode where there was that dinosaur just eating Go-Go's, and that was basically it. And then yeah, that was like the first video that I did with my brothers. Yeah, so the reason why I started making content on YouTube is because when I went to Australia, since I currently live in Australia but I used to be in France, I put my collection aside since I didn't really play with my friends anymore. After I arrived in Australia, I was like, I've got my collection, I don't do anything with it, I don't want to sell it because like I have like emotional value to it. How about I just make some video about it? How about I just show the world my collection? My first Gogo was Goshan from the Mega Trip, this exact blue one with, yeah, basically the Kelly's variant. I went to an ice cream shop and I got that from a Kelly's ice cream.
Next is Domination Studios, who decided to carry the torch from Cooler Now 123. He started about 2 years ago doing some stop motion content with Gogos and eventually evolved into what would become Cooler Now 123, the next generation, which he advertised on January 18th, 2020. Since then, there's about 80 or so episodes dedicated to that universe. But my man, how you doing? Just kidding, it's a text interview. I go by the name Domination Studios. The hidden meaning is Dom-Nation Studios, which is an example of a dominated nation. This all started out as just me throwing toys around, finding entertainment with my trash pack figures. Of course, I used red and blue Moshi from the Evolution series and gave them personalities that didn't apply to the official Wikipedia. I first discovered Gogos in early childhood. The first 3 Gogos that I ever got was Gray Cubic, Purple Hyoto, and Lime Green Fist. The next chapter started out as a simple fan project, nothing major except a few connections to the original series here and there. As time went on, I went out of my way to get Orange Angaroo and Cody. With them, I made the Cooties, the Tornado, and many others. And finally, Lockdown. He's been a big unboxer in the Gogos community. Lockdown's been uploading for about 7 years now, and has honestly just been a thoroughly entertaining unboxer, doing Gogos way more recently and reaching some pretty good success, honestly. So without further ado, let's go talk to Lockdown. Hello, YouTube. This is Lockdown himself, in the flesh, on camera. Thank you for being a part of this.
No problem. It's Lockdown or Lockdown 51. It's hard to find on YouTube, so just type in Gogos and you'll find some of my videos. But I do unboxings, booster crackings of any of the series of Gogo's Crazy Bones, all the way from the original 1990 sets all the way up to the more modern stuff like the Series 4 Powers and stuff like that. Anything I can basically get my hands on, I enjoy opening, and then the rest of my channel is just like stuff I nerd out about, you know, cards, TCG stuff, and other toy lines and stuff like that. So
he's not lying. Like you type in Gogo's Crazy Bones, you will see like 2 or 3 lockdown videos. I'm like, holy crap, man.
Thank goodness. I feel like YouTube doesn't help me out with my search in the name, so like it's the only way to find me is like typing Gogo's because it's my most popular video. So the first video on this channel was back like, I don't know, 6 years ago, some stupid Minecraft thing I threw up, and that was it. I went radio silent on that channel. I had plans for it, but then I never did anything with it. And then I started doing I revived the channel basically because I'm a stay-at-home dad with 3 kids, and I told myself, I said, I need to get myself on some kind of daily thing I can do to put my mind to so I don't go literally insane watching 3 kids. So I was like, I'm going to do YouTube again. I have this lockdown account. Let me pull it back up. I started doing Magic the Gathering Arena videos just daily, and not too shortly after that, I think my first month or so, I started doing some Magic the Gathering pack, like unboxings, pack crackings, as I like to call them, my Sunday pack crackings. And a few months after that, I don't know, I happened to stumble into some, what was it, Series 3 Explorers randomly, and I was like, Crazy Bones, I missed ya, where'd you been all my life, you know, it's been a while, let me check out some of the stuff. And I threw that one up there, it did really well, and then I ended up getting the original series, which is like incredibly rare to find now. And that's kind of where it spiraled, and I've just been continuing doing Gogo stuff and all the other stuff on my channel from there.
I gotta ask, are those boxes on the shelf empty or full? My OCD has been killing me.
Like full.
Oh, thank you.
All except one, I believe. I think one is empty. I try not to display empty boxes. It just doesn't, it feels like I'm cheating, right? So those are full boxes. Well, since I already answered the why I did content, which was just for my mental acuity for watching my 3 kids at home, the reason I wanted to start doing Gogo's content was I grew up with the original series, and I knew newer stuff had come out, the next generation of it and stuff, but I hadn't gotten a ton of it because I had kind of grown out that phase for a minute and then started rekindling that when Dollar Tree started selling dollar packs of Series 4. And I was spotted those at one point back a few years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, Crazy Bones? Oh, let me snag these. And I grabbed a few, and my first pack, I opened up like a gold one. I forget which character it was, but it was a gold one from Series 4. I'm like, oh man, this brings back way too much nostalgia. I like ran out the next weekend, hit up like 10 different Dollar Trees and like cleared them out of my area of all the other Series 4 stuff that they had basically. And then I never saw them again, but I was already hooked at that point, so then I had to dive into eBay and get more there.
Do you remember your very first pack?
Well, I don't know what my very first pack was. It was probably Mutants, and I probably got it at some local like weird books. It was like a bookstore by my house, but it had like one little tiny section of toys right next to like Harry Potter books, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got my first pack. But my first introduction to them was actually at Girl Scouts. Funnily enough, because I have 2 sisters, so I was always dragged along to their Girl Scout meetings, and I met 2 of my best lifelong friends there that I'm still friends with to this day. They were out also getting dragged to the Girl Scout meetings from their sisters, playing with Crazy Bones in the hallway, and that's where I got introduced to them. So they were playing Crazy Bones, they introduced me, I got to be friends with them, still friends with them, and then they kind of hooked me on it too, and I hooked my other friend on it and so forth. I engage a lot with the YouTube and like my own comments. I get pulled into the rest of the community by the community, which is nice because like I'm not like one to jump into the community, and I probably would have like 10 years ago, but like because of my kids and my family situation, I can't keep up with them sometimes. It's crazy. There's such like a passionate bunch of people in the Gogo's world specifically that, man, I'll like, they pulled me into like Discords and stuff to get me more with the community, and I try, but they move so fast. They're so passionate about the Gogos. I'm just like, guys, I cannot keep up with y'all. My favorite story would probably be when I got a goober. Or is it Goober? I believe it's called a Goober, and I could be missaying that. But it's a very misshapen, misformed Go-Go that was like, you know, a manufacturing error. And I got it when I was super young. I opened up a pack, and it was from the original series. And it was just this garbage, clumped up piece of plastic. And I was like, what the heck? I like opened it from my mom, and I was like super sad. And I was like, look at this. Like, oh, that sucks. And she was like, you should write them a letter, and you should see if like what it is, or you know what to do or whatever. So I like wrote Magic Box a letter or something. I can't remember the letter. I don't have the letter, unfortunately. I wish I did. But they ended up writing me back and saying, you got a super rare, exclusive Goober Crazy Bones. Their way of saying, you know, you didn't just get a hunk of plastic that was a mistake. Let's make it special for the kid, basically. But, you know, it's this, like, exclusive thing. And then they gave me, like, 5 packs of Crazy Bones, like, on top of it. Like, here, enjoy some more packs. And I wish I still had that letter, but I still have the Goober guy. It's hilarious. And it's just this hunk of plastic that's now, like, this manufacturing error Go-Go's that not a lot of people have, actually. So it's pretty rare.
Oh, my God, man. I just talking about all this, I just love it. It's just cool that so many people are still even into this, because you just think about it. In the research for this video, 2017 was when production stopped, which I can't believe 2017. I mean, that's crazy.
I know.
All right, well, that is the conclusion of the questions. I mean, if there's anything else you want to add to just share with the viewers, you know, obviously everybody subscribe to Lockdown. It's good.
Yeah, appreciate the support. Support all the other channels too that you guys are going to be watching, because they all deserve the love, and we're all small YouTubers here, so any subscription to the channels just helps boost us to keep doing what we're doing. And you know, none of us are out here making money or doing anything crazy with them, but we're just having fun, so go support everybody.
We've been through a ride of stories, fun, and imagination. It all leads back to the comforting nostalgia we crave every day. Gogo's Crazy Bones sadly left proper production around 2017, give or take, and the likelihood of their return is uncertain at best. We do have a small petition about bringing Gogo's back, though. I'd love to see the old series come back and retain that fad status it did in the 2010s. Despite Gogo's viability being limited to the internet, we are left with classic YouTubers of yesteryear and the modern content creators carrying their torch. Even just cracking open these packs again brought me back to a time where I didn't think about my full-time job or care about my student loan. It was just me, Gogos, and my imagination. We may not be able to live in the past, but damn it, we can at least reminisce for the fun of it. The fact that there are creators still pouring their heart, soul, and effort into content creation is a testament to how important Gogos have become to people. As much as nostalgia and childhood memories are the forefront with these little guys, I can't help but think that there's more to it. I think back to earlier in the video when I stated the creativity that the figures provided. No specific theme to most of them. You just pick a character trait and you roll with it. I'm sure many of the creators, including myself, have even inserted their own personality into the characters they made with them. Not that anyone would know that at a face value per se, but I can't think of another toy that would let me project that level of personality. I mean, you see Godzilla here, I mean, he's just gonna destroy shit or fight a monster. I mean, what's he gonna do? File his taxes? We all know Godzilla's a tax-evading motherfucker. Come on. This is all subjective, which I'm at peace with, you know. This video exists to be one more mark in Gogo's Crazy Bones history. Well, we've reached the end. I just want to say thank you all for supporting this video. It has meant a lot. Please show support to everybody, and I'm going to name drop them now. Lockdown, Sansb, I Like Gogo's Crazy Bones, Domination Studios, wavetro, Andrew L. Day, Super Eggy 5, but his channel's inactive, and I don't know if he's anywhere active anymore, but everybody in the interviews, please show them support. Thank you all immensely for tuning into this video. I had a blast making it. It was one of the biggest projects I've ever done. And I know that sounds silly, because it was just some voiceover with a narrative, but the interviews and just the cooperation and the kindness I just ran into in the making of this is... I don't even know what to say. I'm just so happy. I never thought a series with little plastic figurines would have this much impact on the world. And it may seem ridiculous, but I love it. I love every bit of it. I am a Gogo's Crazy Bones enjoyer.